What's up, guys? I just want to do a video on this bike real quick. This bike I've been carrying around with me for a while now, about 15 years. 15 years. I built this bike about 15 years ago. This is a Volume Compton. Um, the original Volume Compton. I don't know if they had like a second version or whatever, but I think this is like probably the first version or second version. Maybe the second version. Let me know in the comments, man. But I built this bike up about 15 years ago, and it used to be way different than this. When I first built it, it had front and rear brakes. It had all sorts of places to put brakes and all this stuff. We had to grind all this stuff off the frame to make it more streamlined. But if you look at this frame, you'll see that it has like one of the strongest designs because it like goes through the head tube. And like it goes through the bottom bracket, like it like goes through kind of like, and this is one of the strongest frames at the time. And this is what you wanted. Even though it's kind of heavy. Now, I built this bike up many different times. The parts I have on it now I have Odyssey cranks, Odyssey 1999 brakes, kind of basic brakes from like the 80s, but they just work good. I like them. I got the Odyssey R25s on the forks on there. I used to have carbon fiber forks on this bike. This used to be a race bike, but the carbon fiber forks wore out after about a year. So then I put on some other stuff, but I still have aluminum handlebars. Those are hard to find. Those are FMF handlebars. Those are aluminum, 7.25 rise. But then I got the giant Fiend stem. I got a new stem. I got a new stem and a new fork because the carbon fiber fork stripped out. So I thought maybe the stem was messed up. So I got new forks and a new stem. So I'm putting some color on the bike finally. I like Odyssey parts. Like I said, I have Odyssey cranks, Odyssey forks, Odyssey brakes. I don't know who makes the sprocket, but it's pretty nice. Eventually, I started turning the bike back into a street bike. It was a street bike. I used to have all kinds of brakes and everything. And then I made it a race bike, and now it's back into making it sort of into a street bike. But if you look at like the saddle, you look at the seat, and the seat post, like it's like 11 seat. Like you could tell this bike was about racing. I did change the tires recently. There's some better tires on here now. These are brand new tires. Because this is a street bike, so I'm tired of getting flat tires all the time. The next thing I want to improve on this bike, like I said, I modified it about 3 or 4 times all the way through, is I want to change the pedals. I think my pedals are getting kind of burned out here. These are Colony pedals. They're good pedals, but I would like to get some upgraded pedals next, I think. This is a bike I've had for 15 years, and it just keeps going. It never gets stolen. Original handlebars, original cranks. That's probably about it. It's been changed so many times, but this frame, this Volume Compton frame is just a beast. I call it the tank. I jump down sets of 20 stairs and everything on this bike, and it just never breaks. And it probably weighs about 21 pounds, as the way it looks right now, because it's mostly, it's pretty good parts, you know, Alienation wheels and stuff like that. So, you know, and I got the forks cut down, so it's not sticking way above. I never like it when they have the forks sticking way above the stem, like 3 or 4 inches off the stem. It's like, just cut that off. That's just excess weight. And I got a race chain on there, hollow link, hollow pin. But this is mostly cruising around the neighborhood, walking my dog. You know, I'm not really into the vert ramps and stuff too much as an older guy, but I've had this bike. I built this bike to be just indestructible. And it's been everything. So I hope I never lose it. I don't think they build bikes to this quality anymore. I don't think anybody has a bike they can say, oh, I just own this for like 15 years, and I'll probably own it for another like 30 or 40 years, and it'll probably never break. So they don't build like bikes the way they used to. But there's still a lot of good bikes out there. But I'm glad I have this one. This one's a classic.